Have you ever thought about planting a garden, or do you need some help understanding what you can plant in what season and time of year? Our philosophical farmer Clyde Fenton shares some quick insights to more fall planting and how to get those fresh herbs and vegetables all year long.
Good morning, my name's Clyde Fenton. I'm with the University of Arkansas's Division of Agriculture's Cooperative Extension. I'm the County Agent of Agriculture in Sebastian County. We're here once again to talk about fall gardening. Now we're bringing it to the next level today. When you were with me the last time, we were just seeding this stuff. Now some of it's not quite ready to go, but we certainly have made some progress on. I want to just take just a moment on each one and talk about each one. In our first tray here, I've got some cilantro, which is an herb. Cilantro does really well, tolerates cool weather very nicely, and so, cilantro is a great one that if you give it some protection, you can carry it well into the winter. So we got some cilantro there, then I've got some basil. Basil will freeze out quite a bit sooner than cilantro will, but basil, wonderful seasoning, great with your late season tomatoes, make a tomato pesto dishes or whatever, but it grows fast, and so I've got some basil there. Then we've got Swiss chard. Swiss chard is going to last all winter long, especially given a little bit of protection. In the back of this tray here, I've got broccoli. Now something I will point out, one day I came out and just overnight the cabbage lopers, little tiny worms had gotten in there, and so the little holes that you see in the leaves were because they got in there, but we got them under control. But that's something you've got to watch for. Some of your insects can be really challenging in the fall gardening. In the front of the tray we've got spinach. Spinach, interesting thing about spinach you can grow right through freezing weather. The key with spinach is you want to get it mature before it turns too cold, because it will stop growing, but it won't bolt on you in the winter, and that's one of the beauties of it. Very, very nutritious, very tasty in the winter. The one key is when you're harvesting it in the winter, you don't touch it when the temperatures are below freezing. You have to wait for a day when the temperatures come up, but then you can go out and cut some and you won't hurt it a bit. But it will freeze and thaw without destroying the spinach, which is the neat thing about that green. This whole tray here, and I've probably gone way overboard, but I'll probably share it with some friends. This is Brussels sprouts. And Brussels sprouts, I have never had success in the spring here, and I'm not saying that you can't, but one of our challenges is Brussels sprouts loves cool weather. Matter of fact, they say it becomes the tastiest when it's close to maturity after it's frozen a couple times. Well, Brussels sprouts is about a 100-day crop, and so our problem in the spring is we turn way too warm before it has a chance to really mature. So I'm really excited about trying it, but it's about a 100-day crop. So we planted it, about mid-August. We're looking at probably early December before we're really going to enjoy Brussels sprouts. This last tray, this is just aesthetics. This is pansies. We're not going to spend any time on the fall gardening talking about pansies, but I started them because pansies are something that'll bloom right through the winter, and I wanted some color around. We're going to plant it around porches and in flower beds and so forth. For today's session though, we're going to show you how to transplant some of this stuff into your garden. And I've got 3 different varieties that they're all in the Brassica family. This is Ace. It's actually a red cabbage. This here is cauliflower. And then the last one here is a dwarf variety of kale. Kale's going to do real well for you. One of the tricks with broccoli and cauliflower, when you think about what is the part of that you're eating, it's the reproductive part of it. So, one of the tricks when you're growing fall vegetables is you've got to get this to reproductive. So if you start too late, you're not going to get to enjoy the broccoli and the cauliflower on this side of winter. Interestingly, if you protect it through the winter, when it gets real cold, you give it some protection, it will stay alive, and come spring you'll have some beautiful cauliflower and broccoli. So all is not lost if you start too late. All right, we're going to shift now and kind of reset up, and I'm going to show you some things about how to prepare your beds and how I like to plant my crops.